Ronnie, I play guitar. Kaleido.
I'm Christina. I'm the singer.
I'm Jamie. I play guitar as well.
Cody, bassist.
The first record was mostly Joey and I writing, but now everybody is. We've grown together, and Joey and I started the project, so it started off with we had some songs and brought them to the table and then put the band around those. So, but now that everyone's here, we've been together for a couple years now. Everybody's putting their 2 cents in and working together on everything, and we do have a new record in the works, and it's pretty exciting for us because I feel like from these new songs you can see how much we've grown as writers in a fairly short amount of time.
My dad plays drums. He's always played drums, so I was taught by him when I was coming up, and I took a little bit of lessons, but I just
absorbed it.
Yeah, I just kind of, it was like maybe a month or something, and I just kind of went on my own.
Yeah, I had some training. I always loved to sing, and I could sing, but we're always looking to better yourself. I've had vocal coaches and also guitar instructors and stuff along the way too. So definitely the initial interest and talent was there, and then it was just a matter of wanting to be even better. So take the next step and try to learn some more.
Yeah, we were all in other bands. I came from a really heavy hardcore type of scene, and that's what I came from. And I kind of evolved into doing more less heavy stuff. And I mean, I think when we play live, we're pretty heavy though. But before though, it was way heavy screaming and all kinds of gnarly stuff like that. So
it's super cool because we are all so different, and when it comes together, it creates something that's pretty unique, I think.
We usually start with an acoustic guitar. Always, that's the way it seems to. It's not
most of the time, yeah.
Sometimes it could go a different way, but usually most of the songs start off acoustic.
Yeah, a lot of times we'll just be sitting on the couch, and one of us will start playing something cool, and we'll just record it on our phone real quick, and then later on, we'll come back to that and work on it, and just finish it up a lot of times.
Yeah, sometimes the idea gets demoed, and then the vocals come in, or sometimes the vocals are written. I mean, it's all about
it's all
capturing the vibe.
Yeah, it's really subjective.
Still some of my favorites to listen to, even to this day, 90s, Alanis Morissette, and I also was influenced by some old rock bands like, Guns N' Roses and AC/DC, and Kid Rock and Eminem are huge influences and still some of my favorites.
I grew up on the punk rock, but obviously as you get older, you branch out more, and now I'm listening to John Mayer, to Muse, all that kind of stuff.
I listen to a lot of stuff, pretty broad range.
Why don't you just name a few?
A lot of
your
stuff
favorite
that
artists?
nobody knows about.
Yeah. Sergio Mendes, Return to Forever, just Steely Dan, things like that. That's my wheelhouse.
The first record, we kind of just went in there. We worked with a couple friends of ours that had studios based out of their homes, and we put it together fairly inexpensive. It was fairly inexpensive, and we didn't have a producer putting their 2 cents in. Besides one song, Goodbye, the slower ballad in the middle of the record, that one was produced by Ty Stone and Brian Riley, but the rest of it we did ourselves. And this time around, we are working with a couple producers, actually Chuck Alkazian from Pearl Sound and Emil Haney, who's based out of New York City, and he's done Bruno Mars, Eminem, Lana Del Rey, Kanye West, Alicia Keys, the Rolling Stones. So he's awesome. He's probably one of the top 10 producers in the world. So this time around, we're going to have some really cool people putting their couple more outside of the box opinions on it. These songs are more mature, and they're more situational and kind of a little bit sexier, I think, and starting to branch off into certain experiences rather than just that broad message. But we kind of well, we absolutely did choose those first songs as our first impression to put out for everybody to show like how positive we live our lives, and just that's our
platform.
Yeah. And so these next songs I'd say are definitely more mature.
They're an advanced form of that same feeling.
Yeah,
you
it's
have.
like
yeah.
growing. God, I think that's
Monkey knuckle.
Oh, don't do that.
That's what it's like on.
I don't want you watching
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
and being like, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun on the road, though. It's definitely...
Yeah, we're like just a big happy family. You know? When somebody does something, kind of, dumb, we just call it out, like it is, and that's what makes us so close.
Yeah, there's a
together.
plethora of inside jokes.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's fun. I mean, we're out there. We're just letting it dangle free and handling challenges as they come, and mostly just having a good time and playing the music, meeting the people.
We got a bus, an old 1989 school bus that's kind of been renovated to be like an RV type of thing inside. It's kind of cool, and we've been lucky to have that over the summer. We finally started to get out of Michigan, which is what we really were striving for, and we're about to finally go on our biggest tour that we've done so far in November, and it's like a Midwest tour. We're going to be going to Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Michigan to kind of like wrap it up. But so we're finally getting out of here. We've played here, and I just think that we've done so much here. It's time for us to start branching out.
It's the natural next step. Zombies in New York.
Yeah, where do we start?
Ronnie versus Naked Cowboy. I mean, there's a bunch
that's
of
a good
stuff.
one.
Stripping
Yeah.
down in my Frigos in New York,
Yeah.
Times Square.
He did. He got naked and
Yeah.
battled the Naked Cowboy
It's
in
on the
Times
interweb.
Square. Yeah, we have a video of it. It's just kind of a little publicity thing we did before playing CMJ. Joey actually got arrested this last time we were in New York for putting a sticker on a pole. I
They
know,
took it
he's a
very
criminal,
seriously.
everybody. Watch out. And that was definitely funny because we had a show that night. And it was a few hours before the show.
Peril.
The show was in New Jersey.
Straight
And,
madness.
we got out of a meeting, came down, and there's millions of stickers on poles in New York, and he's seen a pole with a bunch of stickers already on it. Put one of ours up there, cop seen him do
I
it,
like
Put a sticker
handcuffed
in there.
him, and took him away.
Yeah.
And luckily, they didn't take him to central booking, and he didn't have to stay overnight, which they said that
It's the typical.
yeah, typically that would have happened. So we got to play our show. So that's pretty funny. And then, what else? Somebody forgot a rag under the hood of our bus, and it started on fire.
That was me.
That was a bad
Cody
one.
chasing rats in the subway.
Yeah.
Rats.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's survival. Sometimes, we're in New York and it got pretty difficult. And so we were just there for each other, making sure everything was cool, making sure nobody started breaking stuff. And, it was fun. We all had our moments.
I think there's a lot of talent in Detroit and Michigan as far as like music, and it's very broad. There's such a strong like hip hop culture here. Danny Brown, who's really like on fire right now, and he's an incredible artist. He's blowing up right now. And then we do have a lot of friends in like rock bands that we've been fortunate to play with and get to know. And so I think that like Detroit, especially Detroit, it's not an easy place. To be a musician, you have to work really hard. To be a full-time musician, you have to work really, really hard. And for the most part, like, we are full-time musicians. So to be able to do that here, I feel blessed, and to be able to say that we come from here is something that makes us proud. We're always wearing like Detroit versus everybody, made in Detroit clothing, and supporting other artists from here, like local photographers that are incredible, and like the fashion scene is growing too. So I just think that there's so much talent here, and it's like it's just bubbling, and it's growing and growing.
There's definitely a renaissance happening. I think art's like an evolving format, so what you write 2 years ago that you might think is really good, and then you're having a hard time moving it, or nobody really likes it, or you're not getting any feedback. Don't be afraid to maybe rework it, retool it, maybe try a different song, maybe try a different genre. You got to work at something like you want it. You can't just make something and then feel happy about it and then expect that everyone to feel as happy you feel about it, as you do. So you gotta not be afraid to rework or retool your whole situation over and over and over again until, like you said, you get some hits or you get some attention or somebody likes it.
A weird compromise.
Yeah, it's like nobody built the perfect chair the first time. It's just, then they got 4 legs on it, and then it worked.
I'd say keep an open mind. Don't be too stuck in your ways, and don't give up. A lot of times being an artist, it's emotional. You're emotionally attached to the things you're creating, and so sometimes that gets very overwhelming. So maybe take a step back, or but don't give up. Just come back to it. Really important to build a strong team around yourself and your project, because you cannot do everything yourself, and you are only as strong as that team. And find people that believe in you, find people that are down for the cause, hungry like you are, want to get better. And that's one thing that we did, and we have an incredible team around this band. And it's kind of like you have to stay positive. Anytime you get negative thoughts, you're only human, so you're going to get them, but just try to get the negative out, because I feel like it's just so magnetic in the universe. If you're negative, you're going to draw negative things to yourself. Poison. Yeah, and you kind of
trash.
Yeah, you just kind of infect yourself with the negativity, and it spreads to the people that you're working with. And so just try to keep a positive attitude, an open mind, and just keep moving forward. Even when someone says you suck, even when you get a really mean comment on your YouTube video,
Which will happen.
You just gotta just brush it off and keep going. And if people aren't talking about you, then you're doing something wrong. So just take the bad, the good, the in between, and really believe in your product and yourself, and you can only keep getting better.
And stay inspired. Keep yourself inspired.
Which is hard. You can get real bogged down with the day-to-day and forget to just relax a little bit.
A while back, me and Joey were talking about how when we were kids, we'd be on the bus, sitting with our headphones on. And we didn't go to school together or anything like that. But we'd sit with our headphones on and just sit there and think about being on stage and being a rock star and just in front of millions of people, and just having it. And it's like, I feel like as you get older, you lose that vision a little bit. And so you got to keep yourself inspired like that.
Yeah. And speaking of team, a lot of producers and things, the higher up the back line, they wanted to be actors or they wanted to be directors, and then that was the path that got them to where they became real successful producers or, DPs or whatever. So it's like maybe your initial dream is the right path, but maybe there's a spot for you to really grow and really become that person you always wanted to be. You just didn't really see that way yet, or whatever. Your initial thought, though, is usually the right one, and then you got to follow it. Come out.
Yes.
Jam.
Yes, everyone come, and we're playing a lot of new material. We've got an incredible show, a stage show, and just the whole thing it's going to be really exciting. We're bringing our friends Shinobi Ninja out from New York City. We're going to be on the tour with them, and they played our record release last November, so they're amazing. And then we also have another band from here called the Bronze Way. They're newer, and they've got great music, and we're excited to play with them. It's going to be really cool. We're going to be excited to be wrapping up our tour, and we love Ann Arbor, and we love the people in Ann Arbor. So we just hope, and we always come out after our set and hang out at our merch table, and we want to meet everybody. So that's so special to us. So I hope that we meet a lot of new people there, and everybody comes out and parties with us.